Hello everyone. Today we will have a new lesson about Netiquette, a guide to online ethics and etiquette. Netiquette. Netiquette is a combination of the words network and etiquette and is defined as a set of rules for acceptable online behavior. Similarly, online ethics focuses on the acceptable use of online resources in an online social environment. Netiquette, abbreviation of Internet Etiquette or Network Etiquette, guidelines for courteous communication in the online environment. It includes proper manners for sending email, conversing online, and so on. Much like traditional etiquette, which provides rules of conduct in social situations, the purpose of netiquette is to help construct and maintain a pleasant, comfortable, and efficient environment for online communication, as well as to avoid placing strain on the system and generating conflict among users. Both phrases are frequently interchanged and are often combined with the concept of a netizen, which itself is a contraction of the words internet and citizen, and refers to both a person who uses the internet to participate in society and an individual who has accepted the responsibility of using the internet in productive and socially responsible ways. Netiquette is enforced by the community at large, as the Internet does not have a policing entity. Users may openly object to breaches of netiquette. If the breach is severe, they may even contact a perpetrator's Internet service provider for recourse. Netiquette includes rules that provide guidance for appropriate social interaction and technical performance online. What constitutes good netiquette varies among the many subcultures of the internet, and of course, netiquette issues change with time and technology. Nevertheless, some general principles of proper online manners can be outlined. Let's proceed to the general principles of proper online manners can be outlined. Lurking. Lurking means that one reads the posts of a group without participating in the conversation. That is, one assumes that the role of a silent reader or observer. Proper etiquette requires some knowledge of the culture of a group in which one chooses to participate. Therefore, preliminary knowledge of the group gained from working is beneficial. Next, reading the FAQs. FAQ stands for Frequently Asked Questions. FAQs also provide answers to these questions. A FAQ is a list of questions that are commonly asked among newcomers. Reading a FAQ before posting helps a new group member to avoid committing the fox pass of asking questions that have already been answered, an act that often generates negative responses from other users. Next, remember the human. Communicating via computers tends to lead people to lose sight of the feelings of or to be insensitive to others. Consequently, users tend to be more blunt in stating their views than they probably would be face-to-face. Users need to be reminded that although they are communicating online, they are nevertheless dealing with real people who have real emotions. Next is avoid Flames. A flame is a message that contains strong personal criticism or attack. Users are advised not to engage in flaming or participate in flame wars. One should treat others the same way that one would like to be treated, and profanity is not good etiquette. A rational tone and a polite manner are preferred. Avoid shouting. Typing in all uppercase is considered shouting, which is not good etiquette. To emphasize a point, instead of typing in all uppercase, one can use underlining or asterisk around the text needing emphasis. Another is not a homework center. Online groups are resourceful arenas. However, users should not use groups as a first resort for information gathering or as a quick source for homework or class assignments. Before going online to ask questions, users should have completed preliminary research by visiting the library or doing a web search. Composition protocols. Users should observe correct grammar and be careful about punctuation and spelling when composing their messages. Online messages should be clear, concise, and organized. An articulate and thoughtful message generates more responses. Let's talk about the 10 netiquette guidelines online students need to know. Number 1. No yelling, please. There's a time and a place for everything, but in most situations, typing in all caps is inappropriate. Most readers tend to perceive it as shouting and will have a hard time taking what you say seriously, no matter how intelligent your response may be. If you have vision issues, there are ways to adjust how text displays so you can still see without coming across as angry. Number 2, sarcasm can and will backfire. Sarcasm has been the source of plenty of misguided arguments online, as it can be incredibly difficult to understand the commenter's intent. What may seem like an obvious joke to you could come across as off-putting or rude to those who don't know you personally. As a rule of thumb, it's best to avoid sarcasm altogether in an online classroom. Instead, lean toward being polite and direct in the way you communicate to avoid these issues. Number 3. Don't abuse the chat box. Chat boxes are incorporated into many online classes as a place for students to share ideas and ask questions related to the lesson. It can be a helpful resource or a major distraction. It all depends on how well students know their classroom etiquette. The class chat box is not an instant messenger like you'd use with friends. Treat it like the learning tool it's meant to be, and try not to distract your classmates with off-topic discussions. Number 4. Attempt to find your own answer. If you're confused or stuck on an assignment, your first instinct may be to immediately ask a question. But before you ask, take the time to try to figure it out on your own. For questions related to class structure such as due dates or policies, refer to your syllabus and course FAQ. Attempt to find the answers to any other questions on your own using a search engine. If your questions remain unanswered after a bit of effort, feel free to bring them up with your instructor. Number 5. Stop. Grammar time. Always make an effort to use proper punctuation, spelling, and grammar. Trying to decipher a string of misspelled words with erratic punctuation frustrates the reader and distracts from the point of your message. On the other hand, it's important to be reasonable about others' grammar mistakes. Nobody likes the grammar police and scolding a classmate because he or she used your instead of your is not practicing proper etiquette. Number 6. Set a respectful tone. Every day may feel like casual Friday in an online classroom where you don't see anyone in person, but a certain level of formalities is still expected in your communication with instructors. In addition to proper punctuation and spelling, it's good netiquette to use respectful greetings and signatures, full sentences, and even the same old please and thank you use in real life. Number 7. Submit files the right away. You won't be printing assignments and handing to them to your teacher in person. So, knowing how to properly submit your work online is key to your success as an online student. Online course instructors often establish ground rules for file assignment submissions, like naming conventions that help them keep things organized or acceptable file formats. Ignoring these instructions is an example of bad netiquette. Number 8. Read first. Take some time to read through each of the previous discussion post responses before writing your own response. If the original post asks a specific question, there's a good chance someone has already answered it. Submitting an answer that is eerily similar to a classmate's indicates to the instructor that you haven't paid attention to the conversation thus far. Number 9. Think before you type. Not only is it good practice to be guarded when it comes to personal information, you always want to be just as respectful toward others as you would be if you were sitting in the same room together. Zink says a good rule of thumb to follow is if you're comfortable standing up in front of a classroom and saying your message, then it's most likely okay to share. Number 10. Be kind and professional. Online communication comes with a level of anonymity that doesn't exist when you're talking to someone face to face. Sometimes this leads people to behave rudely when they disagree with one another. Online students probably don't have the complete anonymity that comes with using a screen name, but you could still fall prey to treating someone poorly because of the distance between screens. Make a point to be kind and respectful in your comments, even if you disagree with someone. Let's talk about basic rules of netiquette or etiquette. Number 1. Know your manners when using technology. The rules of etiquette are just as important in cyberspace as they are in the real world, and the evidence of poor netiquette can stick around to haunt you for much longer. Follow these basic rules of netiquette to avoid damaging your online and offline relationships. Number 2. Make real people a priority. Nothing is more irritating than trying to have a conversation with someone who is engrossed in their phone or computer. If someone is in the room with you, stop what you are doing and look at them. Don't answer your cell phone unless it is to tell the person on the other end that you will call them right back. If you are expecting an important call or email, let the person with you know upfront and apologize for taking the call. Number 3. Use respectful language. Name calling, cursing, expressing deliberately offensive opinions. If you wouldn't do it to the face of anyone who might conceivably see what you write, don't write it. This goes for any social media site, forum, chat room, or email message, even if you think it can't be traced back to you. It can. Either take the trouble to use the shift key for capital letters, or write in lowercase but don't use caps lock. Text in all caps is generally perceived as yelling. Please don't forget to say please and thank you as appropriate. Number 4. Share with discretion. Avoid sending naked sex pictures, drug pictures, child use pictures, or unedited home video. If you would have a problem with your boss, your parents, or your kids seeing it now, or at any point in the future, don't post it online. The same goes for phone conversations in public places. Just because you can't see the person you're talking to doesn't mean everyone around you can see and hear you. Number 5. Don't exclude others. If you have an in-joke to share with one other person or a small number of people in a larger online group, send them a private message. Don't make everyone else feel left out by posting an obscure comment to your Facebook status, forum, or Instagram story. The same goes for laughing at texted or email jokes when you are in the presence of others. If you don't want to share the joke, save it for later. Number 6. Choose friends wisely. It is insulting to be dropped from someone's friend list on a social media site. So think about it before sending a friend request or accepting an invitation. If you don't want to be in touch with someone, don't add them in the first place. If you want to stay in touch with a colleague for professional reasons, tell them you only use Facebook for close personal friendships. Then join LinkedIn or another professional networking site for more distant contacts. Number 7. Don't email large files. You might think that sequence of nature pictures with inspirational statements is wonderfully moving. It might even give you a sense of serenity, but that is the last thing it will give the person you email it to if it crashes their server or depletes their inbox quota. Post large files to your own space and send people a link. Don't attach it to an email. And if you reply to a message, delete all but the most recent correspondence from the sender, otherwise the message gets really, really long. Number 8. Respect people's privacy. Don't forward information sent to you without checking with the original sender first. Use BCC or blind carbon copy rather than CC or carbon copy if you are sending something out to more than one person. You might think that we are all friends online, but your friends may not want their names and or email addresses publicized to people they do not even know. The same goes for uploading photos or videos that include other people to public space or sending them out to your own contacts. Number 9. Fact check before posting. If you are not sure of the facts, Email it to someone who does know or can find out. Or do a search on Google or Snopes.com. Don't forget that many viruses are circulated via chain letters and invitations to send some seemingly pertinent piece of information to 10 of your friends or everyone in your address book. So don't be naive. Forwarding that message will not bring you good luck, just bad karma. Number 10. Respond to emails promptly. By all means, ignore and delete spam, unsolicited messages, and crazy stuff. But if you have given someone your email address, or if you are in a position where people could reasonably be expected to contact you by email and your email address is public, have the courtesy to reply to their message within a few days. If it is going to take longer to reply, email them and tell them that. Number 11. Update online information. Don't leave inaccurate information online just because you can't be bothered to update your website. If you're going to be unavailable, for example, don't leave your hours of operation online indicating you will be available. If you can't keep your website up to date, take it down. Number 12. A word from very well. It is easy to lose your sense of what is going on around you when you are using technology, but engaging directly with others is more important than ever. Don't forget the positive impact you can make putting down your phone and having a real face-to-face conversation. So, what does good web etiquette look like? For society, recognizing that the internet is an extension of society. The internet is not a new world in which anything goes, but rather a new dimension of the world, the same standards online as we do in public. In simple terms, this means that the values society has in place against hate speech and bigotry, child exploitation and child pornography, copyright violations, and other forms of theft remain intact. Values around courtesy, kindness, openness, and treating others with the same respect we wish to receive should also be adhered to. Refusing to empower abuse and harassment while online. Accepting that the laws which are currently in place to protect the rights and dignity of citizens apply online and that where needed, laws are updated to reflect these rights in the extended environment. Theft, harassment, and bullying while online is still theft, harassment, and bullying, period. Another is acknowledging cultural differences. Even when national boundaries no longer apply, cultural respect and tolerance should remain. This requires finding a way to accept that the social values and norms of some netizens will not be the social values and norms of all netizens. How about for the businesses? For the businesses, respecting rights of privacy for offline employees. Information possessed by citizens in their offline interaction should be respected. Next, maintaining transparency and information policies by taking actions so that consumers can easily and quickly understand how that company is using their information and protecting them from harm. Companies can provide users with a clear means of ownership and self-determination as to what is and is not shared about them, which strengthens the consumer relationship. So that's all for the discussion about Netiquette, a guide to online ethics and etiquette. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.